Hello guys. Yun. Kita ba ako? Hold on. Yan. So tatlo tayo, no? Clear naman, rinig ako, Boss Matt, Boss Ed.
Yup, dinig. Good evening.
Okay. So sa lahat ng nanonood right now, pa-comment na lang if clear yung audio and then clear din yung video namin. Hindi naman naglalag and everything or anything. So pa-confirm na lang if clear. Please type clear. Then we can start na, no? Okay, so thank you for confirming, Boss Coffee Bean. Shout out, Boss Rainier, Boss Tony. Thank you for answering, no? For confirming na clear yung audio namin and kita yung video. So, set lang ako ng background music. Pasabi na lang if sakto lang or masyado ba malakas. Sakto lang ba? Okay lang? Excuse. Clear? Hindi naman masyado malakas, guys. Okay? So, yun. Shout out ulit, no? Boss Coffee Bean, Rainier, Tony, Robert, Elmore, and Kilua. And sa lahat ng nanonood right now sa atin in this Investa Live, no? So, ayun. Hindi na ako magpapatumpik-tumpik pa. Introduce ko si Boss Matt of OJ and Boss Ed Bayangos of OJ din. So, mga private portfolio manager sila. And mga boss natin sa Open Journal. So welcome Boss Matt, Boss Ed. Kamusta? Kamusta weekend nyo? Kamusta trading weekend nyo?
Muna Ed.
Yeah, good evening Berio. Good evening Bro Matt. So thank you for the invite. So medyo matagal-tagal din na ginawa ko to last. So weekend, nag-trip lang kami ng friends ko sa Batangas last week. So perfect way to unwind and chill. And trading naman, okay naman compared last year. Actually, parang mas marami pa nga na-trade to this January compared sa buong 2023 ko eh. Kasi way back 2023, parang wala akong masyado na-trade sa markets eh. But yeah, ikaw Bro Matt, kamusta ka naman?
Nice. So good evening everyone. So at least ako nakapahinga over the weekend. I had a big event last Friday, specifically for JSI Manila. And then medyo nakakapagod but at least pahinga over the weekend. And then of course, I usually naman over the weekend I still review my charts, no. Macro charts sa global market. But yeah, nakapahinga naman and like Ed mentioned, at least since December, mga second week or third week of December, since the start of those weeks, no, medyo maraming ginagawa sa market. So medyo nakakasabay lang, but at least all good. Mas okay nang merong ginagawa kaysa walang ginagawa, lalo na sa market, di ba?
Yeah, oo. Lalo na ngayon, no, daming market events like yung big earnings ng big tech. Yep. At the same time, FOMC meeting, NFP later, no? Meron ding release. So thank you Boss Matt, thank you Boss Ed, no, for sharing. So ako naman to share lang, no. Ako medyo na-busy lang din sa market recently. Actually nung Wednesday pa lang nag-unload na ako ng mga positions to risk off dito sa FOMC meeting and everything. So parang anticipated na talaga magiging volatile yung market. And ayun, thankfully naman may mga okay naman na calls and everything. So ayun, medyo na busy, no. So ngayon, parang preparing tayo sa sa magiging game plan natin in this current market developments, no. So ayun, nice. So to everyone sa mga ka-investa natin, mainly ang agenda natin for today's live charting session is to discuss nga yung current market developments, no. The same time yung risk factors na na-experience natin or nag-emerge sa markets natin. At the same time yung current market narrative. Yeah. So yun, objective is to build a game plan, market game plan. So just to update everyone, this January may malakas na run up in US equities, no. So halos around 3 to 5% yung month-to-date gain ng S&P 500, ng Nasdaq. At the same time, this week, nagkaroon din ng strong drop nung Thursday dahil nga dun sa hawkish comment ng Fed na hindi daw sila magkakat ng interest rates and hindi sila magkakat ng interest rates this March 2024. At the same time, moving forward sa crypto space, so we also saw a strong run-up in Q4 2023. So around 80% gain since its October low. And then after the approval of the BTC ETF, halos binura niya lahat ng gains niya in December in just 12 days. So ang main question natin for this Investa live session is the bull market canceled? So in this live charting, aalamin natin. So we shall see. So thank you sa mga nanonood right now. Ako na muna yung host ninyo ngayon in this live session. Wala si Boss Toma. So please, please bear with me kasi hindi ako sanay talaga mag-host ng mga ganitong market session. Kasi kadalasan ako lang yung nagsasalita eh. Hindi ako sanay na ako yung host. So please bear with me. Kinakapa ko din tong StreamYard na platform. So may mga onting lang tayo, mga delay. So yun, let's start with the big picture. So tayo? Nice. Mag-share screen ako everyone, no? So hold on, eto. Yan, kita na ba to? Teka, double check ko kung tama itong ginagawa ko. Yan. Kita na tayong tatlo.
Perfect.
Yun, medyo tech bobo tayo sa sa StreamYard eh. Yun, kita na, no? So let's start with the local markets. Warm up tayo, everyone, no? So let's start with the big picture. Let's look at the key indices and sectors. So starting with Boss Matt, let's look at the PSCI, no? Ano yung key takes mo? Ano yung key outlook mo for our local index? For our main local index?
Okay, so at least for the local market, it's very obvious na nag-start yung run-up mga second or third week of December. So if you measure that, parang yung gains natin for the local market umabot ng mga 5 to 6%. And of course, what Barry mentioned, no? What is interesting in the local market is if we draw yung trend line natin, so everyone is asking na takbo na ba talaga tong local market, di ba? Or even, is this just a short run-up or even the first quarter run-up sa local market? But if we deep dive on the chart itself, no? And kami, at least sa technician, we always follow na 80% are actually based on charts. Our decisions, 80% of the time are based on charts. So if you draw your trend line, basically, you have the start ng Feb 7, 2022. And then if you draw your resistance trend line, makikita mo na para na siyang nag-breakout for this week, no? So what is interesting is, for that breakout, it is also confluence with your resistance level. So at least, no, for the local market, I know it's currently on momentum with your net foreign participation or net foreign inflow for the past 2 weeks of more than 200 million pesos. I really believe that for the local market, we might see a short correction para magkakaroon siya ng retest for the moment before going higher. So at least yung outlook in the short term for the local market is still on the bullish side, given the fact that we mentioned this nung last charting session natin na naghahabol yung foreign. That's number one. Second, Bear mentioned kanina din na in terms of the cut of interest rate hike, yes, nagkaroon ng hiccup or nagkaroon ng profit taking the other day because of the fact na sabi nga ng Fed, the March interest rate cut parang hindi siya posible or unlikely, but they will do it later this year. Going back to the market, or at least in the sentiment itself, I think the sentiment is still driven or pinaprice in pa rin nila na magkakaroon pa rin talaga ng rate cut by this year, and the result of that one is most probably is the market will gonna move higher, no, at least sa local market. Even if you take a look on the financial sector, or at least on the overall sector, your financial sector is still andyan pa eh. Diba? Meaning buhay pa yan. You have your BDO, you have your BPI, So I really believe sa local market, yes, it's currently on the breakout level now in the short term. But I believe na magkakaroon ng profit taking soon before magkaroon ng retest and of course moving higher. So yun, at least yan yung sa Philippine Market Index or sa PSEI.
Okay, thank you, Boss Matt. Ikaw, Boss Ed, ano yung key takes mo sa PSEI natin? Your main strategy din.
Siguro sa akin, halos same lang naman kami ni Bro Matt. Pero just to add, siguro one of the important economic indicators or yung kailangan natin bantayan is yung inflation rate which is on Fed 6. So still, inflation rate pa rin still plays a big role when it comes to equities. Syempre, gusto natin na lower pa rin ang inflation rate compared to last month para at least may possibility or yung sarili natin central bank is mag-cut ng rates pa rin. So I think sa Feb 6 ang consensus is 3.1%. So ang inflation rate natin last January was 3.9. So definitely a significant decrease. So let's see if ma-match nga yung forecast sa actual. So yun lang, Feb 6 inflation rate data for the Philippines.
Okay, great.
And just to add, in terms of the local market, I think the growth outlook in the Philippine market is still on the positive side. Diba? So we just released parang kailan ba, the other day, January 31, na you have your GDP growth at 5.6%, diba? For last quarter and 5.6% for the whole 2023. So if you take a look at it, macro picture ng Philippine market, we are still on the positive side. But again, in terms of choosing or identifying your watch list sa local market, meron din syempreng may mga may iwan, di ba? Like we always mention, may mga iwan, merong mga leaders pa rin sa local market. But yeah, overall, I expect hopefully, di ba? Hopefully, after 2 years, hopefully this local market will continue to move higher. Pero syempre hindi naman yung straight line, may mga profit taking pa rin.
Yun, nice. Anong level yung tinitignan mo for a buy on pullback scenario, Boss Matt, for the PSEI?
So at least for the PSEI, yung tinitingnan ko, given na breakout siya ngayon, so yung tinitingnan kong level is between 6,530 6,500 level. So from the current level, though nag-increase pa rin ako ng exposure. So what I did for the fund is meron akong mga invested and then nagbawas ako and then nag-buyback ulit ako. But at least in terms of the majority of the funds na if I will go aggressively, I think a good buyback, lalo na dun sa mga hindi nakapag-participate sa recent run-up ng local market, is the 6,500 level, which is also confluence with your 50-day EMA.
Yeah,
also confluence with the previous support, candlestick support. So I think so even if I take a look at it, this week merong mga foreign outflow na, so meaning nagbawas lang yung mga foreign funds ng mga binili nila third week of December. So I still expect, like I mentioned, I still expect na maghahabol yung foreign funds this year. Since, I mean, the past decade, for the past 10 or 12 years, lagi sila nagbabawas di ba, on a monthly basis. So maghahabol din yan, hopefully by this year. So yun, 6,500 level.
Same din, Boss Ed? 6.5 ang tinitingnan na key level?
Yup, yung sa akin, rin naman, 6.5. So that area. So yan, yung saktong line na dinawin mo.
Yun.
As long as mag-hold dyan sa level na yan, we are of course positive. Kasi I'm also checking and analyzing, if you draw your trend line dun sa low, which is October 31, and you point it dun sa December 11, yung uptrend line dyan, syempre, something to watch out then. We are not always positive, 100% positive. If you break that level, diba? If you break that level, which is 6,500 also, then we might see pullback, of course, sa Philippine market.
Okay, so may rejection candle tayo actually, no? So ito yung 1 month high. Tinry niya mag-break out dito sa
Mag-break.
6-7
Yep.
level. So most likely ang emerging setup natin or emerging technical pattern natin is most likely a continuation pattern or base building, no? Base building
Yep.
mode yung mangyayari with our local index. So in addition to that, no, para sa akin, so since tayo, very heavily reliable tayo yung local markets natin in foreign inflows, no? So importante siguro na malaglag muna tong USD PHP, no? Isa yun sa mga tinitingnan ko actually. So isa to sa mga pinaka key factors din ng foreign inflows. So sa akin naman, tingin ko magkaka-bullish momentum sa PSCI if we break below 55.50, no? 55.50. Doon baka magkaroon ng strong foreign inflows, no, in our local markets. So yun, mainly parehas lang naman tayo ng nakikita eh. It's all about finding the support level, then looking for strong sectors. So in line with that, pakita ko lang yung tanong ni Ma'am Karen Lipat. So shout out Ma'am Karen. So tanong niya, what sector is the most bullish po this year? So sige, let's start with Boss Ed naman for the local markets.
Sa akin, syempre yung pinaka-tinitingnan ko, syempre yung mga sa consumer-related. Kasi syempre, we expect na more spending, di ba? So since ayun na, halos tapos na yung pandemic, so we expect na more spending talaga ang mangyayari for the Philippine market. So syempre, ang mga main beneficiary niyan is yan, mga under industrial sector talaga. So ayan, even sa last meeting naman namin ni Bro Matt, ang ina-avoid namin for now is yung mga banks naman, di ba? Tama, Bro Matt?
Yeah.
Kasi syempre, cutting of interest rates. So syempre yung cutting of interest rates, syempre affected dyan yung mga banks. But as you can see ngayon, medyo lumakas lang yung bank since related nga dun sa Fed meeting na nangyari na hindi pa naman magka-cut sa March. So we can see na may temporary strength pa sa banks for now. So let's see in the future if once na start na nga yung cutting of interest rates ng US, let's see if magkakaroon na ng weakness dito sa banks.
Yeah. Sa tingin ko, Boss Bear, just to add din, no? Thank you, Bro Ed. Sa tingin ko, in the short term, and like Ed mentioned, big factor yung announcement ng Fed that cutting of interest rate by March is unlikely. Which is, as you can see, nag-react yung financial sector eh. You still have your BDO, BPI, Metrobank. Metrobank parang tatakbo eh, parang susunod eh, di ba? Pero your BDO and BPI nagmo-momentum ngayon eh. So nag-react sila. But going back to the question ni Ma'am, no? I think given the fact na if your time horizon is really long and you can wait, I think if you consider, you can actually consider the property sector. Diba? You can consider the property sector, meaning you have your REITs for long-term play. Kasi for the past 2 years, you have your interest rates going higher. You have your inflation going higher. Property sector continue to move to move lower, eh, 'di ba? So kapag nag-cut ng interest rate na, most likely yung mga naiwan, yan naman yung aakyat, 'di ba? So again, if hindi ka naman conscious sa time horizon mo, like you really invest over the long period of time, baka merong play. Baka merong play yung property sector given the fact that the outlook this year is hindi man sila short term magka-cut ng interest rate, 'di ba? Pero by late of this year, the central bank will cut interest rate and potentially property sector will move higher. But again, hindi yan short-term play. It's more of a long play na if you can wait actually. Diba? Kasi as you can see, yung holdings, yung industrial sector, your financial sector, yan naman yung sumusunod sa market eh. Even the services sector, you have your PLDT, which is the leader, can give 7 to 8% dividend yield for the year. You have your earnings growth. They continue to increase their capex. So a good a good play din yung PLDT. Just looking at the chart and of course the fundamentals. Mining and oil sector, baka on the side muna, di ba? On the side muna. Kasi as you can see, it's currently on a downtrend. But versus if you pick, siguro, if you really want the mining and oil sector, meron namang specific stock. Like for example, you have your APX. Di ba? Na mas maganda yung itsura niya. Nagmo-momentum siya as of the moment. Again,
gold miner
yun yung mga picks na may play in the short term, may play in the medium term, and of course, the long play is meron din tayong play which is a property sector.
Okay. So thank you, Boss Ed. Thank you, Boss Matt. So to summarize, no, for Boss Ed, it's all about focusing on consumer-related sectors or market groups. So yan yung nandyan yung services pati industrials, no. So tanong ko lang, Boss Ed, ano yung mga tinitingnan mo in that sectors, no, para makita lang din natin yung mga charts na pwedeng hanapan ng trade idea.
Yeah, sige. So una yung sa URC.
Okay, URC. So
Yeah, so URC, although ganyan pa yung chart niya, ako kasi ang mas approach ko sa Philippine market is try to position trade talaga para at least it's easier to, kasi syempre we're handling clients, di ba? So medyo hirap kaming magpasok at labas. So at least for URC, ayan, near support and pwede siyang mag-accumulate at that level. But for possible na stronger issues, sa tinitingnan ko naman if ayaw ng sa ibang play ko is yung GT cap, which is one of the stronger issues, di ba? So yan yung GT cap, ilang beses ko na rin yan na-trade this January. So for GT cap, if ever ito is mag-pull back, let's say to 50-day or the moving averages niya, definitely pwede ako mag-re-enter dito for GT cap. So yan, some of my picks for the local market.
Okay. So solid, no?
Another
URC.
one is Monday.
Oh, Monday. Ito talaga.
Monday, di ba?
Transitioning to markup phase na to eh.
Alam ko, Bear, minention mo yan eh.
Oo. Isa to sa mga positions ko right now, Monday.
Oo. Even if you take a look at it, on the weekly chart, parang merong inverse head and shoulders pattern na nabubuo di ba?
Yeah, oo. Accumulation to markup phase.
So yung line, it's more on start ng May 8, 2023 and then naka-point lang sa September 25. So parang yung tinignan ko nga yan, it's more of, okay, this is a potential inverse head and shoulders pattern which is a reversal, di ba? And of course, susunod din naman yung earnings dyan eh. Like Ed mentioned, potentially consumer-related. So Monday, though URC andyan pa, nasa ilalim pa, but it's more of a long play. But Monday, andyan na rin.
Okay. Yeah, ito talagang, isa to sa mga strong movers natin right now, no? With a net foreign buy, actually today, 78 million. So may net foreign buying spike na nangyayari recently. At the same time, volume, no? Medyo may volume spike tayo na-experience today. At the same time, strong bullish momentum in terms of price action. So, yun. Actually, in GT Cap, no? Balikan lang natin. So, last live session namin with Matt, na-discuss din tong GT Cap eh.
Na-discuss natin ito.
So, holding sector siya, pero more of ang pinaka-narrative niya, no? Strong sales in ng
motor
ng mga
vehicles.
car o automotives. So ayun yung main driver and main catalyst of GT Cap.
Yeah. Even if since I mentioned yung GDP growth, no. So main driver ng mataas sa GDP growth natin is the sales of the motor vehicle, which is around, parang if I'm not mistaken, parang mga 5.6 or 5.8% increase eh. Diba? For the year 2023. So, I mean, yung iba, tinitingnan na bakit hindi double digit. But, if you take a look GDP growth perspective, malaki na yan at 5.8% increase. Diba? So, Toyota itself, diba? Marami silang nabenta. So, good for them actually.
Tanong ko lang, Boss Matt, Kasama ba dito sa sa increase in motor vehicles yung mga e-bike?
Kasama yan.
Kasama yun?
Kasama
Kaya
yan.
pala, no? Yun yung mga
Oo.
hari ng kalsada ngayon eh. Mga nag-i-e-bike dyan ha. Joke lang. Medyo ano kayo.
Kasama yan.
Joke lang.
Oo.
So, GT Cup. Yun. So, thank you, Boss Ed, Boss Matt, no, for those insights on this specific stock. So, ikaw, Boss Matt, ano yung mga picks mo naman for the financial sector or yung mga sectors na tinitingnan mo right now?
I'm looking at for example, I have real estate since I mentioned it kanina. SM Prime, still there, diba? Parang it's more of a retest yung nangyayari. I have Metro Bank na hindi pa tumatakbo versus BDO and BPI. I also have APX. APX, given the fact na you have your weak dollar, usually weak dollar ang parang inverse sila ng move ng gold market eh. So gold market, I keep on analyzing it. So I mean, since December, I'm very bullish on the gold market. So I keep on looking APX as part of my watch list. Another one is ICT, weak dollar, diba? You have your insider buyback. ICT is one of my favorite stock since last year. And
all-time high, no?
Oh, diba? And then of course, andyan pa rin naman yung avoid this power if you're defensive.
Okay.
So yun. Actually, tinitingnan ko kanina maigi is the play for ASEN. So hindi pa siya gumagalaw, pero I'm trying to understand ano yung potential catalyst for ASEN to move higher. But this is more of a reversal, no? Hindi yan tatakbo ng pangmabilisan. But again, I'm trying to understand and analyze ano yung potential catalyst for ASEN to move higher. Kasi Monday meron eh. Di ba? Monday, it's more of earnings. Just looking at the chart itself, technical-wise, I already mentioned it. You have your inverse head and shoulders. Fundamental-wise, susunod yung earnings versus the past 2 or 3 years. So, yung ASEN lang, tinitingnan ko ano yung potential catalyst mo.
Pwede kayang energy crisis dahil sa mga recent
Pwede rin.
Mga
Diba?
recent
So, I mean,
geopolitic related na issues.
Na parang siya yung magiging main, diba, beneficiary. Hindi ko alam. As of now, hindi pa natin alam, but yun yung mga tinitingnan ko.
Actually, pwede to, no? May downtrend line ka dyan.
Yung downtrend line.
Once na mag-breakout yan dyan, so transitioning na yan to a late stage accumulation eh. Essentially, no? So meron ka nang na-build na trading range actually, no? So ito na yung current accumulation trading range ng ASEN. So maganda. Okay naman yung maganda yung mo dito, spot mo dito. So thank you, Boss Matt, no? Anything na na other picks? So okay na ba tayo doon?
Okay na tayo doon.
Okay, so mainly SM Prime, pati mga property holdings, no, or mga property names. So actually sa akin naman for property, same narrative, no. Lower interest rates equals lower mortgage rates. So mas madaling makahiram ng pera. Hence more buying in the real estate market. So pwedeng mag-drive ng earnings sa property sector tong recent na Fed pivot, no. Fed pivot. So most likely baka pricing in na tong stage na yan eh. Pricing in. So reaccumulation and then another run up maybe Q2 2024. So yun din, same picks din actually. Monde, URC hindi ko lang nakita, no, pero pwede rin buy on support ka dyan. Then
baka matagal na play siya.
So another din, no, something to note din. Maganda for me itong APX kasi ayun nga, gold prices, no, parang bound to break all-time highs din sooner or later dahil gold is flight to safety actually, no, parang US Treasuries. So recently may regional banking crisis na nangyayari. At the same time, may issues din sa Red Sea, di ba? Parang ganun. So most likely baka yun yung mag-drive sa price ng gold. So yun, thank you Boss Matt, thank you Boss Ed for your thoughts on our local market. So moving forward, no, before we proceed sa sa global markets natin, let's focus on the macro benchmarks. So focusing on our macro benchmarks, starting with the dollar index. So what are your thoughts on the dollar? Ikaw, starting with Boss Matt muna, sige.
Yeah. So ako, yung key levels na tinitingnan ko on the technical side is, well, it broke my support level, which is 103.10. And then, so ang nangyari is you have your short-term breakout na nangyari if you point your trend line ng November 1 to December 11. So you have your breakout there, consolidation, and nagkakaroon ng retest as of the moment. Very important levels to watch out as of the moment. Short term, I expect a profit take na mangyari sa US dollar. So like what happened sa candlestick niya yesterday, last night. And then my next support level is at 101.90 level. So that's bullish on the risk asset side. Yun yung gusto natin makita, mag-pullback yung US dollar lalo or mas bumagsak pa siya for us to aggressively participate on the risk assets, no? Like for example, like we mentioned sa Philippine market. So again, going back to the US dollar chart, I expect na magkaroon ng pullback or even move lower all the way to 101.90 level.
Okay. So in the intermediate term, do you think na yung dollar will go below 100 US or tingin nyo mag-hover lang to for a long period of time?
Sa tingin ko mag-hover lang siya. Mag-hover lang siya sa range na yan. As long as hindi pa totally clear kung ano yung direction ng central bank in terms of cutting their interest rate.
Okay. So if ever na mag-cut na yung Fed, most likely break below 100 yung bias mo, tama?
Yes.
Okay. So that's gonna be good for our local markets as well, no? Tama?
Yeah. For the whole risk assets, you have your cryptocurrency, you have your US stock market, and of course your local market.
Okay. So thank you Boss Matt, no? Sige, let's move toward our US 10-year note yields, no? Sige, si Boss Ed naman. What's your thoughts on our current price action or parang action ng bond yields natin? Not price action, sorry. So ano yung thoughts mo, no?
So for US 10 years, so as we can see ngayon, di ba, parang clear naman na nagda-downtrend na siya. So ang main reason bakit nagda-downtrend yung US 10 years is yun nga. The market is expecting na magka-cut na ng rates yung Fed this year. And syempre, sasabay dyan yung yields. So for yields, ngayon nakikita ko is nire-retest na niya yung previous low niya, di ba? So what I want to see para mag-benefit yung risk assets natin is to make a lower low. Kasi ngayon, lower high na siya. Next na niyan is to make a lower low. So once na magkaroon na ng lower low and bumaba na tuluyan tong US 10-year, what we can expect is stronger risk assets. Kasi syempre, instead of people holding bonds, syempre, magta-transfer sila to equities kasi mas mababa na yung rates eh. Kasi before, kaya lang naman humina yung equities versus bonds. Kasi umabot to 5%, di ba? 5% yield per annum. So instead na mag-invest yung mga tao sa risk assets, magbabonds na lang sila. Risk-free pa, di ba? So for US 10-year, what I'm looking at is yung previous low niya. So hopefully, ma-break to. But definitely for US 10-year, I can see na na to. Downtrend. Except na lang reverse yung Fed na biglang hindi na pala magka-cut.
Yun yung main point.
Malabong mangyari yun. Malabo kasi syempre.
Let's say, just to add, no. If bigla nag-pivot yung Fed na hindi sila magka-cut ng interest rate this year, ang pwede mangyari sa 10-year is bumalik, di ba? Mag-reverse yan bigla. Pero as long as the stance is we will cut interest rate, not short term, but later this year, di ba? We expect 10-year to move lower na.
Yep.
Yung US dollar mo nga lang, talagang ano lang, hover lang yan. Pero yung 10-year bond yields, andyan na yan.
Yeah. Pero hindi ba parang alarming tong big drop sa 10-year bond yield natin? Kasi parang wild yung nangyari for the past few days eh. Medyo kakaiba to. Hindi ba parang risk off signal to for our risk assets?
For US 10-year naman, if ang correlation naman niya sa risk assets is kapag nagdo-drop siya, talagang yung mga tao is magta-transfer from the safer assets to the risk assets like equities, crypto, yun. But siguro ang major alarming lang dito if mag-drop siya ng biglaan, meaning may problem na sa may problem na sa mga institutions, sa mga bonds. So yun yung alarming. But so far naman, nangyari naman yung drop na ganyan way back noong October eh. So if you look at the bar chart, so ganun din. Pero let's see, bantayan din natin to kasi baka related to dun sa news na shinare mo, yung cancellation of the
long-term funding program.
Yeah, so yun, baka related to
long-term funding program.
Yun. So that's our US 10-year. So next, no? Sige. Actually, na-discuss na natin to kanina, gold. What's your take on gold for our as our macro benchmark for risk off signal, no? Parang ganun.
Yeah. So,
sige, ikaw muna, boss.
Hindi pa rin naalis yung idea. If everyone is reading press releases all over the world, there is still, given the fact, or at least given kung ano yung nangyari the past 2 years, you have your high interest rate, you have your high inflation rate, hindi pa rin maaalis historically, diba? Hindi pa rin maaalis na we might have a soft landing. So, and of course, if you have a soft landing or even a hard landing in the US market economy, you expect gold market to move higher kasi nga, like you mentioned kanina, Bear, it's a safe haven eh. It's a safe haven asset.
Safe haven eh.
It will continue to move higher. I mean, kung ako just looking at the chart, I've been saying this for our charting session, I'm very bullish on gold. I expect this to move higher. Diba? Though ngayon, syempre, may volatility because of the different news, different stance from the Fed, as well as how the US dollar is moving. Nag-hover pa siya. But again, over the long period of time, or at least maybe this year, expect gold market to move higher and break the decade high.
Okay. Thank you, Boss Matt. So next is US oil. Sige, si Boss Ed naman. What's your take on US oil? Ano yung pinapakita niya? Ano yung sinisignal niya for you, no? In relation then to risk assets?
So for US oil, ang tingin ko sa kanya, medium term parang nagsa-sideways eh, di ba? So medium term sideways, pero possible ba na long term nag-perform siya ng huge base na payu, di ba? Kasi yan, di ba? Para nag-perform siya ng saucer base eh. But sabi nga nila, di ba? Don't predict na ganun yung mangyayari. Just let's watch and see what happens sa chart. But for US oil, definitely isa sa relevant news dito is yung sa Red Sea crisis nga, which is yung mga yung mga oil na suppliers, di ba? Kailangan nila magre-route dahil nga sa nangyaring mga war sa gulo dun sa Red Sea. And syempre, as a result, nagkakaroon ng mga delays dito sa delivery. So, di na-meet yung demand. And syempre, as a result, tumataas yung prices ng oil. Diba? So, another thing is sa oil dapat bantayan. If this increase, possible to maka-affect ng inflation. So, definitely kailangan din natin itong tingnan kasi if nagtuloy-tuloy yung pagtaas ng oil, syempre affected dyan yung mga presyo ng bilihin, transport cost, and definitely tatamaan dyan yung inflation rate natin. Possible na mag-increase yung inflation And pwede na mag-domino effect papunta sa Fed rates na naman na once na makita ng Fed na nag-i-increase yung inflation, they might delay even further yung rate cuts. But for oil, chart-wise, medium term definitely sideways. So possible ba na if bumalik siya sa 93 to 95 area? Pwede. Or possible din ba na bumagsak na siya all the way to 65 area? So pwede rin. So definitely oil medium term sideways ang tingin ko.
Before the year ends, Boss Ed, do you think na will we retest 93 area or break below 65 area? Ano yung bias mo?
Before year end, ang bias ko is definitely lower na eh. So yung oil kasi definitely na rin yan eh. Kumbaga sa tingin ko, since nagre-rate cuts na tayo, di ba? Possible yung oil is lower na yung move niya. Yeah.
Okay. So, something to add lang din, no? Same bias din actually, no? I think this 2024 US oil will go down below 65 kasi dami ding recession kaliwat kanan, 'di ba? So it will affect demand, and kahit na may Red Sea crisis na will trigger higher oil prices, ano pa din mas malakas pa din talaga yung price driver ng demand eh. Yun yung tingin ko. So maganda naman siya for inflation, and maganda rin siya for risk assets if US oil drops below 65. So yun. So ngayon actually, 'di ba, below EMA 50 na tayo. So that's gonna be good for inflation numbers. Lalo na if we break below this upward channel.
Yep.
Yun yung gusto natin makita.
Siguro just to add lang, ang kailangan rin tingnan sa oil, if nag-drop siya na mabilis and biglaan, so usually sign din yun ng recession. So definitely ayaw natin na mag-drop ng malakihan yung oil. So yung tamang drop lang.
Sakto lang. Hindi yung mala 2020. Hindi mala ganyan. Hindi mala ganyan. So watch the acceleration din, yung bilis kumbaga.
Yeah.
So let's see. So usually nauuna to eh. Tanda ko parang 2020 Feb pa lang nalalaglag na tong oil. Sabi ko mukhang alanganin yung equities So mga 5 to 8 days later, boom, nalaglag din equities. No, usually leading signal ng ng risk to risk off ng economy din. 'Yun. So thank you Boss Matt, no. So all in all, actually parang pointing toward short-term risk on pa din, no? Tama Boss Matt, nakikita natin short-term risk on, wag lang umabot sa point na super sharp drop in our US 10-year bond yield. Wag lang mabilis na US oil drop yung makita natin. Kundi recession yung magiging market narrative natin. Yun. So that's our macro benchmark. So moving forward, looking at our global markets, US market. So S&P 500 actually pre-market breaking above 49, erasing the losses this week, nung FOMC meeting. So ano yung thoughts nyo with the S&P 500? Ikaw, starting with Boss Matt.
Ako for S&P 500, ever since the start, ever since the year started, I expect it na mag-coil moving higher. So may mga profit taking parang 1 to 2 days, pero my stance still the same. Magko-coil lang siya, merong pullback 1 to 2, 3 days, and then before moving higher, which is happening now, diba? What happened the other day, yung gap down is more of the Fed, diba, announcement na we mentioned it already, but pre-market mukhang mag-breakout na naman, diba? So magko-coil lang yan, pull back, then moving higher. So I really believe the strategy now, parang mangyayari dyan, it's more of mabilis na lang din yung strategy. It's more of swing trading. So may mga pullback na even talaga. The market breadth sa US market, lumiliit na rin diba? Yung mga above 20-day, if I'm not mistaken, is already parang lumiliit na rin. May mga profit taking
51%.
Almost half na lang, diba? So yun, sa akin, it will gonna coil still, but expect some profit taking moving forward.
Okay. So sa ngayon actually, nangyari na yung profit taking, no? Tama, Boss Matt? Parang yun na yung nangyari ngayon eh. Parang ngayon, dami lang winipso, and then habulan na naman ng
Habulan na naman,
pagbili
ganun na
ng
naman.
calls. Oo, tapos bili na naman. So actually bumubuhat sa market ngayon, 'di ba? Parang Meta. 15% up pre-market eh.
Mga tech companies
Big tech. Very concentrated rally, no? Kumbaga, yun yung lumalabas talaga.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Boss Matt. So short-term wise, still bullish. So parang sinagot na natin yung tanong, is the bull market cancel? Tingin namin hindi talaga eh, no? Talagang malakas pa din, no?
Malakas pa rin. Kasi even your US dollar still parang malalaglag pa eh, 'di ba?
Oo, yun nga eh.
Diba? Your US dollar, pag tinignan mo, akala ko before last week may mga profit taking na dyan sa US dollar. Pero pag tinignan mo, yung move yesterday, sabi ko, okay. So I think short-term move sa equity market will continue to move higher. Diba? But if maghahabol ka, if wala ka pang nabibili as of the moment, huwag kang mag 100% all in agad.
Oo. Diba? Antayin mo yung mga pullbacks, no?
Antayin yung mga pullbacks. Kasi mahirap at this level na most of the issues, not just in the local market, but also global market, nasa overbought condition na. So, wag nyo habulin, di ba? So, you still apply your risk management.
Tsaka just to add lang dito sa S&P 500. Yung nangyari lang naman last Thursday, tingin ko, was a knee-jerk reaction lang eh. Kasi yung market, I think early January, yung expectation probability nila for March rate cut was around 80%. Nung nangyari yung Fed meeting, noong Thursday around 3 a.m. Philippine time. So in-announce nga na walang rate cut na mangyayari. So syempre, what's priced in is may rate cut on March eh. So ang nangyari,
surprise, no?
nagka-sell off. So di nag-meet yung expectations versus reality. So let's wait for March 20. So I think ngayon ang probability na lang ng March 20 rate cut is 37.5% from 80%. So malaking drop siya. So let's see if talagang wala ngang cut na mangyayari. But definitely, let's say na nagkaroon ng cut, but yan nga, ang announcement ng Fed sa this January was walang cut. So definitely, magrarally naman yung market niyan. Kasi kailangan lang i-temper nung Fed yung expectations ng market participants.
Actually, nung FOMC meeting, nung Fed interest rate decision, ang tingin ko talaga, surprisingly, magkakat sila. Pero kahit na low probability, kasi ang ginagawa ng US 10-year ng mga panahon na yun, nalalaglag eh. Kumbaga parang sinasabi nila, hindi, kami kami na magkakat para sa inyo. Tabi nyo, kami na. Yung bond market sabi, oy, kami na bahala dyan. Yun, anyway. So short term, bullish pa din naman. So sige, thank you Boss Ed, thank you Boss Matt. Sige, pasadahan natin. So market segments na muna. So large caps, mega caps, malakas. Very concentrated yung rally. For the mid caps, what's your take, Boss Matt?
I think for the mid cap, mas merong si Ed. Mas merong counter comment for the mid cap.
Yeah, for mid cap so chart wise lang. Looks like healthy pa naman yung uptrend niya, di ba? So nag-uptrend. Tapos anong EMA 50, no?
Yeah,
EMA 50, yeah. So yung nag-uptrend siya, and so far right now nagko-consolidate siya near EMA 50. So for me, sign to ng healthy uptrend pa rin, di ba? So hindi naman ganun kalaki yung mga drop and nagko-consolidate lang sideways. So usually we can take this opportunity to accumulate at this level. Tsaka may base na siya. So definitely for this chart mid cap, pwede itong parang gawing swing trade.
Yun, solid. So actually yun nga din, parang kaya ako din dinala dito. Biased ako eh. Biased ako sa mid caps eh. So mid-caps, tingin ko mag-rotate yung pera dito, no? So market cycle-wise, ito yung accumulation range mo and then breaking out. Actually, nag-bull trap siya. Pero right now, invalidated bull trap na siya. Well, not fully invalidated bull trap. So, sa ngayon, nag-hover na siya above this resistance area, which is 500. So, kahit isarado mo na at 500 psychological number, psychological area, as long as above 500 yung mid-caps, most likely may mga magagandang setups na makikita dito. So, tingnan nyo na lang yung mga components ng ng MDY, no? Tingnan nyo na yung components ng MDY. Doon, may makikita kayong mga setups. So, actually, GitLab, no? Maganda yung setup dito. So, GitLab. Transitioning to markup phase. Mid-cap din to. Yun, anyway, moving forward to our small caps, IWM. Sige, what's your take then, Boss Ed?
Dito,
For small
IWM.
caps?
Ayan, so compared dun sa mid-cap, parang mas maganda pa rin yung chart ng mid-cap kasi for IWM, parang nagkaroon ng lower high and let's see if maglo-lower low na to. But possible din naman na still intact pa rin yung uptrend niya. Ang gusto lang natin mangyari dyan is magkaroon ng basing out and then once na mag-breakout sa small base niya, we can definitely participate. Diba? So definitely yung time na to, pwede tayong mag-accumulate at these levels. So healthy siya. Hindi yung pag nasa taas doon bibili, di ba? So mas okay na habang nandyan sa habang quiet.
Support
quiet
level,
base.
no?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, solid. So more of parang ang thesis is malakas ngayon, big caps, mega caps, flowing or rotating toward mid caps, and then after mid caps, tabi na kayo, small caps naman. Parang ganun, no?
Yep.
So yun. So that ends our market segments muna, no? So sectors wise, ano yung mga market sectors na tinitingnan nyo in the US market? Boss Matt. Sige, si Boss Matt muna. For the sectors, market sectors in the US market. Nakamute ka ata. Nakamute ka, Matt.
Okay. So at least for the US sectors, ang tinitingnan ko pa rin is I still have the healthcare sector as the leading. No? So nag-hover sa akin yung consumer-related sector. Energy sector, andyan pa rin. But at least I'm just looking at the different sector. Ang malakas sa akin is you have your healthcare sector, you have your industrial sector, and then of course, technology sector, which is we already mentioned. Consumer sector or consumer staples, merong big volume na pumasok the other day. But yeah, those are the top 3 na tinitingnan ko. Again, you have your healthcare sector, you have your industrial, and then consumer staples.
Okay, so consumer staples, industrials, and healthcare sector kay Boss Matt. So actually, this week, 2% up, healthcare, 2.5%, consumer staples, up, this week. Yep. Actually, utilities din. So parang nag-rotate yung pera from communication sector papunta sa healthcare, consumer staples, and then utilities. Parang ganun yung nangyayari right now,
Yep.
Which is actually okay naman, okay siya, Financials medyo nagda-drop, tech sector down din this week. Energy sector actually down 1% this trading week. Ikaw, boss Boss Ed, what are the sectors yung ano yung mga sectors na tinitingnan mo sa US market?
Yeah. Top of mind, ang pinaka nakikita kong may setup ngayon is yung XRT, yung retail. So ako, to be honest, sa US, ang tinetrade ko na lang ngayon talaga is yung mga ETFs. Kasi ayoko na ng yung may earnings risk. Yung mga
nagagap,
gap down. Napupuyat ako pag ganun . So as much as possible, ETFs na lang yung tinetrade ko mga XRT, mga ARC. Yan. So for XRT, definitely ito yung gusto kong chart. So as you can see, diba, still above 50-day EMA and possible na nagko-consolidate siya at that base. So for XRT, ang tinitingnan ko lang naman dyan, if mag-drop siya below 67.5, diba? So if mag-drop below 67.5, so invalidated na yung thesis ko for that trade. And possible targets ko, ayan, yung resistance na yan.
Yung 75 area, no?
Yeah, yun yung sample idea ko for the US market.
Okay, solid. So, ano lang, no? Buy on dip, buy on EMA 50, bato niya at 75. So, clean, ano yan? Clean 2-to-1 reward risk ratio, mga ganon. Parang yun yung tingin ko So, okay siya na swing trade. So, actually, maganda yung strategy ni Boss Ed, no? So, instead of picking stocks, picking equities, ETF na lang. ETF na lang para din maiwasan mo yung mga gap down risk. Sipin mo kunyari bumili ka ng Google. Nag-gap down, tama ba?
Gap down.
Google, gap down. So, sipin mo yan, pre-earnings, nag-rally up yan around 15%, around 10%, 6%, ganun. Then, on the earnings, nag-drop. In-erase niya yung gains in just one day. Diba? So, yan yung tinatawag ni gap down risk sa equities. So, instead of buying yung mismong stock, pwedeng ano na lang, XLK na lang, ETF na lang, diba? At least yan, diversified. At the same time, wala nung mga gap down risk na grabe.
Tinatanggal yung company risk, yung individual risk per company.
Yeah, oo. So, kunyari, you're buying regional banks. Kunyari, bias mo is focused on regional banks. Bullish ka doon. So, kung ETF, bibilin mo KRE, di ba? Bibilin mo, kunyari yan, nabili mo yung KRE. Ngayon, down lang siya ng around 6%, 7%. Pero kunyari, ito yung tinrade mo na regional bank. New York Bank Corp. Ano ba yun? NYBC ba yun? NYCB? NYBC. Wala ata sa Investa. Yun. Anyway, ano siya? Equity siya na right now down 50%. Diba?
Yep.
So, yun yung mga nakakatakot na risk when trading equities. NYCB pala, sorry. Naghalo-halo na. So, NYCB, New York Community Bank Corp.
Grabe.
So, kunyari ito yung tinrade mo na, na regional bank instead of KRE. Ilang percent down to? 50% down. Diba?
Puyat ka talaga.
So, yan yung alanganin when stock picking. So, in line with that, in our trading cup, kasama yung ETFs sa mga tradable assets. So if interested kayo to join the trading cup, punta lang kayo dito sa investagrams.com/trading cup. So global markets yung iti-trade natin for this trading cup. Hindi lang PSE, hindi lang crypto, pati US market, pati equities, pati ETF. So yun, shameless plug lang din, no? So, I hope na if trip nyo talaga na i-level up yung trading game ninyo, try joining the trading cup. So, magkikita-kita tayo dyan. Ako personally, baka sumali din ako. So, sali din siguro si Boss Matt, pati si Boss Ed. So, kita-kits on Trading Cup Global Quest. Yun. So, anyway, So, kay Boss Matt, mainly healthcare, energy sector or utilities, pati industrials. So kay Boss Ed naman, retail focused yung mga trip niya na sector. So yun, moving forward, so tapusin na muna natin yung global markets para siguro tapusin ko yung yung session, live session mga around 8:45 para mabangga din natin or mabanata natin yung crypto market. So crypto naman tayo, BTC. What's your take on BTC, Boss Matt? Naka-mute ka ata. Naka-mute.
Sorry. So, we mentioned this at least for our previous charting session the reason behind kung bakit umakyat yung your Bitcoin is, I mean, it's because of number one, you have your BTC ETF, which is already done. Pinrise in na nila yan. Second is your Bitcoin halving, which will happen on, if I'm not mistaken, parang kailan ba? March ba or April? Diba? So, the number one reason, April, the number one reason is already done. Kaya nagkaroon ng pullback, diba? Bear mentioned it's already more than 10% drop from its high. So, kasi nga, pinrise in na nila. Para nangyari dyan, buy the rumor, sell the news. So, actually, yeah, 10%. Di ba? And then yung low niya is below 20% from the high itself. Now, the second catalyst for Bitcoin to move higher is the Bitcoin halving. I really believe sa Bitcoin, we have a good opportunity, di ba? In the medium term. But I think in the short term, we might see some parang B-wave rally yung potential mangyari. B-wave rally. Kasi tinitingnan ko for BTC. Yung BTC ko, yung trail stop na tinitingnan ko for this rally to continue is your 20-day EMA. So if you put in your 20-day EMA, again, that's my trail stop. Break below that level and even break below your 50-day EMA, I expect it na magkaroon lang ng B-wave rally before again moving lower to 38,000 level. Again, I'm not saying it's 100%. What I'm saying is that from my experience, after ma-break yung 20-day EMA, which is my trail stop, magkakaroon ng pullback. Diba? B-wave rally para doon sa mga hindi nakabili. Pullback, which is nangyari noong January 25, and then magra-rally siya all the way to, let's say, 45,000, 45,000. And then saka siya magpo-profit taking ulit all the way to 38,000 pesos. Again, that's my expectation. That's just my comment based from my own experience. But I think over the long period of time, because of those two catalysts, na you have your Bitcoin ETF, institutions continue to accumulate, and of course your Bitcoin halving. I think this year, diba? This year, and even moving forward, we're very bullish sa Bitcoin, and I think it will move higher.
Okay, great. So, I mean, ano yung price target mo end of year, Boss Matt, for BTC?
Ang hirap magsabi. But, ang hirap magsabi ng target eh. So,
100.
we're
1M. Joke lang.
Usually, as a trader and of course as a technician, I just look at the price level, no? And then if let's say ma-break yung support, ma-break yung resistance, that's the time I can move my target levels. We don't actually parang forward forecast yung ginagawa namin. Hindi, ang hirap eh. Given the volatility na meron sa cryptocurrency market. Sa mga stock market, you have your Philippine market, kahit pa paano kakayanin. But at least for the crypto market, because of its volatility, medyo mahirap ma-predict. If let's say you have your 68,000 for this year, breaking 68,000 all the way to 70 to 100,000, it's very difficult to anticipate it.
Yeah. So actually, no, just to add, so sa Wyckoff theory kasi, 'di ba, sa Wyckoff theory meron kang accumulation, markup phase, distribution, and then markdown. So actually, ito yung based on the Wyckoff theory, ito yung accumulation base mo.
Yep.
Itong yung trading range na yan from 16K papuntang 32K. So yung accumulation base na yan, ang primary target actually is 48K. Binangga niya na yun. So sumakto, di ba? Magic. Pero, ayun, tignan natin. So actually, it's on a markup phase. Tignan natin if mag-distribute na siya this time. Pero I think, same din eh. May Bitcoin halving ka eh. Meron kang supply trigger eh.
Sakto lang din, your 48,000 is also, okay, parang pag tinignan mo, yung Wyckoff theory, for you to identify the resistance target, if you use your reverse fib naman, we're almost the same at 48,000 pesos. $48,000. Yung resistance
oo.
level ko for Bitcoin. If I use my reverse fib
Eto, yan,
to
ganyan.
identify, 'di ba? So sakto din eh. You can use yung high ng Bitcoin nung November 8 all the way to the low itself ng December 12, 2022. Tapos that's your 786.
Ito, 786 to.
Ayan, sa'yo lumalabas yung 618 ata. Ayan, sa'yo.
Parang 618.
Oo, yan. So parang again, it's 48,000. But like I mentioned, I believe to fully complete the correction in the short to medium term para magkakaroon lang ng B-wave rally before ulit magkaroon ng profit taking.
Okay.
Which is yung B-wave ngayon nangyayari na.
Oo, yung ito yan, yung
rally na yan.
Yung rally na yan. So based on your current knowledge base, ano yung measured target mo dito?
Yung short-term move na yan. So usually minimum of 50%, max of 618%. So if I measure it using log scale, if I use it from the high nung January 11 all the way to the low ng January 23. Again, I'm using log. So parang ngayon, nasa 50% ka at 43 to 40. So 50%, may 50% is 43,480. May 618%, which is potentially the high of the B wave is 44,750.
Okay. So ito, yung 44K, 43K. 43,900,
around that level. So parang for me,
ganun.
andyan na siya sa resistance level na yan. 'Di ba? So magkakaroon lang ng B-wave tapos before magkaroon ng pullback. Again, it's not 100%. 'Di ba?
Hindi probability lang naman.
Let's say na-break yung 48,000, then ma-invalidate yung theory natin na na magpo-pullback or magkakaroon ng malalim na profit taking sa BTC, 'di ba?
Okay. So may natutunan na naman kayo kay Boss Matt. So mga forte ng ng OJ, mga Elliott wave at saka Fibonacci. 'Yon. So 'yon, shout out mga ka-OJ diyan. So actually ako nakikitingin din ako sa OJ. Ano kaya mga ano kaya nangyayari sa OJ ngayon? Pumunta ako sa Discord channel. Titignan, risk off daw, sabi ni Boss Matt. So, titignan ko lahat ng risk factors. Di ba? So, yun. Yun, anyway. Yun, tapos na tayo sa crypto. So, sige, ETH. Sige, nalimutan ko, parang medyo na tayo. ETH, are you bullish with with the ETH or...
Yeah.
Or
so, I think yung magiging potential play, given the fact na yung first point and pina-price in na yung Bitcoin halving or 'di ba pina-price in na or na-price in na. The next one is the Ethereum ETF, which will happen kailan ulit yung
around May. Yung
so yan, around May. So again, yung theory namin, hopefully ETH naman yung susunod, and even given the fact na you have your ETF approval that will happen on May, may mga sumusunod, may mga leaders na rin tayo. Like for example, you have your Solana. Medyo marami. Diba? Yan yung mga leader natin eh. Diba? Currently, short-term retest. You have your TRX. Yan yung mga sample lang, daanan na natin.
Ganda ng mga structure, no?
Diba? RNDR.
Link. Ganda rin ito. Link.
Yan, CTXC. Again, this is more of a short-term move na mas clear. Next is CTXC. Yan, CFX. Another one is CFX. Malilinis, diba?
Hindi na kasi ako nagki-crypto eh. Pero daming magandang structure.
So parang may mga leader na tayong nakikita, no? So but let's see. But the main catalyst for Ethereum is the ETF approval on May.
Yun. So, yun yung parang current market narrative or parang market bias, no? sa crypto. So next is yung pricing in of the Ethereum ETF. So it will bring bullish momentum. Then after announcing yung results sa Ethereum ETF, yun, baka sell on news, di ba? Yun yung,
Pwede rin. Parang ang
yun yung
mangyayari
playbook.
ulit, buy the rumor, sell the news.
Pero hindi ba parang super obvious na niya? Parang, ano na siya eh, automatic trade idea na eh. Oo, di ba?
Tama.
So,
Kaya-
pwedeng contrarian approach, no?
Oo. Pwede rin.
Trade the
Actually.
price pa rin, wag the news. Don't
Trade the price. Wag mong i-predict na, hindi, obvious trade na yan. Di ba?
Trade what you see pa rin talaga. Trade what you see.
Trade what you see, tama. Solid. So that's our take on the crypto markets, no. So yun yung mga picks ni Boss Matt. Nakita nyo na yun, and then replay nyo na lang yung Investa live natin. So before we end the lesson, or parang before we end the live session, no, discuss lang natin yung mga current market developments, pati yung mga risk factors, para lang aware lahat na syempre parang hindi naman declaration, parang ang bias natin is the bull market will continue, di ba? Pero kailangan natin i-discuss yung mga current risk factors. So starting with the recent FOMC meeting. So do you believe na it really plays a strong influence in the markets recently, or talagang knee-jerk reaction? Sige, starting with Boss Ed, since siya yung mas updated sa FOMC meetings.
So FOMC definitely very important yan when it comes to equities. Kasi yung rates ng FOMC, syempre related yan sa yields natin, sa bond yields. So pag nagka-cut na yung FOMC, usually doon na magkakaroon ng strength yung mga risk assets. Since yung alternative nga ng bonds, which is equities, risk-on stocks, risk-on assets like stocks, crypto, doon na magta-transfer yung pera, especially yung mga big money, mga whales na tinatawag, di ba? So syempre instead na iiwan nila yung money nila sa bonds na nagdo-drop naman yung yields, so syempre they will go back to equities and risk assets. So definitely very important ang role ng Fed sa equities natin.
Okay. So sige, next, no. So talagang importante yung pinapakitang message or sinesend na message ng natin ng US Central Bank. So next, no, ano yung take nyo sa current crisis sa Red Sea, no? So do you believe na ngayon, no, it currently influences yung central bank monetary policy. So tingin nyo ba dahil din dito hindi makapag-cut ng rates yung US Central Bank, pati yung ECB, European Central Bank, ayaw nila mag-cut ng rates, 'di ba? Parang initially 2 to 3 weeks ago sabi nila hindi kami magka-cut ng rates kasi may Red Sea, baka magkaroon ng re-acceleration ng inflation, whatever. So, ikaw, Boss Matt, ano yung tingin mo on the current Red Sea crisis? Do you think na wala lang yan, makakalimutan din yan, or
akin,
critical?
Yung initial sentiment ko dun sa issue na yun, it's more of it might affect the commodity market, no? Even the fact na the trade itself going around the world, baka magkaroon ng issue, 'di ba? Magkaroon ng delay, or even magkaroon ng demand and supply. So sa akin, baka may potential impact sa oil, may potential impact sa commodity market, diba? So at least yun pa lang yung tinitingnan ko as of the moment, but to be honest, in details hindi ko pa na-analyze totally kung ano yung mga potential big or significant impact na pwede mangyari because of the trade, the Red Sea issue na nangyari ngayon. Si Ed.
Okay.
Yeah. Siguro just to add lang doon, kasi ang pinaka-affected naman dyan sa Red Sea is yung oil, di ba? So definitely affected dyan yung demand ng oil. So syempre hindi mamimit yung demand dahil sa delays, since magre-reroute na sila to a longer route. And ang mangyayari niyan is yung oil definitely tataas yung prices, di ba? So once na tumaas yung oil prices, like what I've said kanina, affected dyan yung inflation kasi syempre higher cost, higher expenses for business owners. And pag tumaas lalo yung inflation rate natin, dyan na maapektuhan yung Fed na once they see, kasi ang last statement na ng Fed, they need more evidence eh. So if nakita ng Fed na yung inflation rate is hindi naman lumalapit sa target nila, which is around 2%, so definitely they will be hesitant to cut their rates. Kasi syempre ang panglaban ng Fed for inflation is rated, diba? So they need to taasan yung rates para makontrol yung inflation. So definitely domino effect siya.
Okay. So domino effect. Okay, thank you Boss Matt and Boss Ed. Sige, moving forward, no? Another risk factor na currently developing sa US market, yung commercial real estate loan losses ng mga regional banks. Nagsisilabasan na, no? Like yung kanina, yung NYCB na pinakita natin, isa sa mga big reasons bakit nalaglag tong bank na to dahil nga dun sa CRE losses nila, no? Yung mga CRE loans nila na non-performing, at the same time ang laki ng losses nila. So do you think na parang babalik tayo sa March 2023, hindi lang US Treasury issue, hindi lang collateral issue yung nangyayari, but right now double trouble na. US Treasury collateral issue, at the same time may issue na rin with their earnings dahil may mga bad loans. So do you think na meron tayong regional banking crisis right now?
So sa dito naman, ako to be honest, ang fino-focus ko lang sa big picture talaga is yung Fed, yung galaw ng Fed, and at the same time yung mga commodities. Pero dito, siguro parang masasabi ko similar to sa nangyari dun sa Evergrande way back before. So definitely for me right now, as long as hindi pa naman nangyayari yung problem dun sa bonds na talagang nag-release na ng problem and hindi na makabayad. So definitely for me, treat as noise lang muna to. So still, for me, macro side, ang focus ko pa rin is talaga yung Fed, yung oil, and yung dalawang factor na yun.
Okay, so short-term noise lang itong CRE loan losses ng mga regional banks based on Boss Ed. Ikaw, Boss Matt?
Ako, to be honest, hindi ko pa siya totally na-analyze on what could be the potential effect sa market ng issue na yun.
Okay. So, okay, thank you, Boss Matt, no? So, actually, in line with that, no, parang ang ginawa ng Fed, mayroon ng commercial real estate issue, mayroon ng mga bangko na nagkakaroon ng losses.
Yep.
Actually, right now, they're adding fuel to the fire, no? Parang nasusunog na yung mga balance sheet nila. Pero right now, since March 2023, diba, parang nung nalaglag yung Silicon Valley Bank, First Republic Bank, pati Signature Bank, nilabas nila yung bank term funding program. So itong bank term funding program facility, kumbaga ito yung naging lifeline, no? Parang ito yung naging bailout nila sa lahat ng regional banks na may liquidity issues. So right now, this January 2024, sinabi nila, tanggalin na natin yung BTFP. Bahala kayo. So ano yung tingin nyo dito? Will this add is this a big factor in terms of global liquidity, financial market liquidity? At the same time, do you think na kaya nila ginawa to, parang gusto na nila talaga mag-fail yung mga regional banks? Do you think yun yung narrative right now?
Yeah, so definitely ang risk niyan is magkaroon ng bank run eh. Yung sabay-sabay yung mga credit ay mga sa bank na mag-withdraw ng pera nila na once alam na nila na wala nang liquidity yung bank or wala na silang makukuha. So definitely yun yung risk. But as long as hindi naman pa nangyayari yan, talagang be very cautious lang. At least good to know lang siya. But ayun, if large scale, kasi for example like like I mentioned yung Evergrande na nangyari before, diba? Hindi naman siya yung nagtuloy-tuloy talaga. So parang for me, naapektuhan lang talaga yung sa China yon. But global market, hindi naman siya ganun kalaki yung impact.
Okay, thank you, Boss Ed. Ikaw, what's your take, Boss Matt, on this issue?
Sa akin, almost the same as kay Ed naman. It's still an issue, or it's a warning for us. But as long as the price is not as bad as the whole sector, we're willing to trade, and of course aggressively trade the market, diba? So parang ganun pa rin, as a trader and of course as a technician.
Okay, great. Thank you, Boss Matt and Boss Ed, on that take, no? So, what is your market game plan based on this information? So, do you believe na, yun nga, bull market in US equities in the global market is canceled, or tuloy lang talaga tayo?
Yeah. Sa akin, I mean, as a trader and as a technician, I think the market will continue to move higher, diba? As long as your US dollar continue to move lower as well. Yun lagi yung prerequisite ko eh. So, of course, if you take a look at it, kapag yung US dollar nagkakaroon ng resistance level and even nagkakaroon ng breakout, then your risk assets, the expectation is it will move lower naman at the end of the day. But to answer your question, I believe yung risk assets natin, you have your cryptocurrency. We'll start with local market. Local market, if you're invested already, something to watch out, or at least to start profit take already. That's number one. Same with your US market. US market naman kasi, given the market breadth, meron pa rin mga opportunities to participate in. Unlike sa Philippine market, sobrang pili lang. Halos wala ka pang 20 na mabibili mo eh. 'Di ba? Na tumatakbo tong market parang less than 20. 'Di ba? 'Di ba? So parang cryptocurrency naman, like I mentioned, the run will still continue, but expect some profit taking as well, and I expect for Bitcoin or some cryptocurrency issues na magkaroon ng B-wave rally before ulit magkaroon ng pullback. So is the bull market canceled? I don't think so. We will still continue in the short term, but of course be watchful, lalo na if hindi pa kayo nakakapag-participate. If you're 100% cash, don't be aggressive deploying all your cash or even all your funds in just one go, diba? There will be times there will still be an opportunity this year to participate. But in terms of your strategy, again, if you're 100% invested, 100% cash, make sure na unti-unti lang you still apply your proper risk management. Let's say you deploy 25% of it, kasi nga nasa overbought condition na yung global market diba? And your US dollar started to hover as well. And the central bank mentioned that this coming March, yung cut ng interest rate hike na ina-anticipate ng lahat, hindi siya mangyayari. But of course, will happen later this year.
Okay, thank you, Boss Matt. So, the bull market is not canceled. Yun. So sa akin tingin ko lang parang kwentuhan lang Dami kasing issues, 'di ba, na nangyayari, lumalabas sa markets. Pati ito, yung lumabas na NYCB issue, commercial real estate issue. Pati itong BTFP na facility sa Canada daw. Tingin ko magkakaroon ng emergency rate cut sa March. Yun yung bias ko. So let's see.
Let's see.
Yun. How about Boss Ed? What's your take? What's your market game plan?
Sa akin naman, macro, tinitreat ko siya as yun nga, big picture and direction So way back nung nag-i-increase yung Fed ng rate hike sila. Mostly na tinitrade ko is yung mga beneficiary ng rate hike, katulad na syempre ang lugi dyan yung stock. So ang tinitrade ko niyan is inverse ETFs, tapos syempre yung gold, diba? And now na nagre-rate cut na, definitely ang beneficiary niyan is yung mga risk assets, emerging markets, yan. So definitely for me, now na yung Fed naman is still planning to cut rates, but dinelay lang nila na instead of March, they're moving it to May. So definitely still bullish pa rin ako sa risk assets like stocks and crypto. So for me, talagang hindi pa naman canceled yung bull market. But still, it's good to know yung mga current events. Kaya thank you, Bro Bear, sa mga kasi even ako, honestly, di ako masyadong familiar dyan sa nangyayari sa bank. Yung sa more on sa Fed yung naka-focus ako. So definitely, let's see if ano yung maging development ng mga issues na to. And if maging issue man to, if magkaroon to ng large effect, definitely makikita naman natin to sa prices na magre-reflect. So yun, very important to remember talaga na trade the price talaga.
Yun. Price is king. Ika nga, di ba? Price is king. Huwag niyong unahan, huwag niyong babaliwalain na yung sinasabi ng price. Kasi kahit anong narrative yung nakikita mo, kunwari ngayon, di ba? Parang banking crisis daw, regional banking crisis. Pero free market, putik, 4.9.
The price continue to move higher, di ba? Parang it's just a noise, pero the price continue to move higher.
Pero pwede mo rin i-take na baka pwedeng bull trap din to. So, kailangan lang maging cautious
pwede
ka.
Rin. May cautious yun. May risk management pa rin. Huwag ka mag-all in.
Tamang timpla.
Tamang timpla lang.
Yun. So, yun. Thank you, Boss Matt, Boss Ed, for this very nice live session, no? Charting session. So, very fruitful. Actually, nag-enjoy din ako sa mga discussion natin. Bihira lang din kasi ako may makausap about this eh. Kung minsan ako lang, kausap ko lang yung sarili ko sa salamin. Uy, ano nangyayari sa market? Ganun. Yun, so Potek, ayun. Sige, what's your advice to our viewers, no? To cap off this session? What's your advice to our viewers? Diskarte in the markets, this February, risk management, even objectives.
Yeah. So, ako, just to start, from the past 2 years, it's been a learning curve for us, for everyone as traders and investors. This year, hopefully, and it's already happening. So we might have an opportunity for us to trade this kind of market. But of course, like I mentioned, itong session natin, you still apply or still be cautious and apply your proper risk management. Kasi at the end of the day, kahit na umaakit yung market na yan, yung hawak nyo na yan, hindi naman naakit yan in a straight line. There will still be times sa magkakaroon ng profit taking, di ba? So that's an opportunity for you to profit take as well and to buy back all the shares as well. But yeah, trade what you see and not what you think. Kung the past 2 years ang iniisip natin, which is also came from our mentor kay Boss Edward, if nasa ilalim yung market, we trade what we think and not what we see. Pero ngayon, tumatakbo yung market, you all have the noise, you all have the negativities. But it's very important to trade what you see and not what you think. So baliktad naman. So yeah, that's it.
Ganda ng advice na yun. Trade what you see pag umangat yung market. Okay. Si Boss Ed naman, ano yung ma-advise mo to our viewers? Discarte in the markets, this Feb, pati objectives.
Siguro sa akin, alam ko we came from a hard year, 2023, 2022. Medyo mahirap, especially dun sa mga local market traders. Syempre, wala naman tayong shorting. But definitely, if galing kayo sa loose streak the past few years, definitely ngayon, it's time to test the waters. So, have an exposure sa market. Don't be scared. Just practice risk management and trade what you see and always focus on price. At least for now, if still you're scared to trade the market, okay lang yan. Slowly expose yourself. Kahit na sabihin na natin na 5% lang muna or 10% of your total capital, just expose. Kasi I believe this year is definitely maraming opportunities sa mga risk assets, whether crypto man yan or equities. Basta always remember, risk management comes first. Kasi pag naubos yung pera mo, wala ka na iti-trade. So always protect your capital. Yeah,
yun. So pag magte-trade ka, 1% risk lang. Putol daliri lang, no? Ganun. Hindi putol braso.
Oo.
Ganun. Tsaka yun, solid advice, no? Test the waters. Test the waters. Kung mag-toe dip ka na, yung toes mo, i-dip mo na dun sa swimming pool. O kaya dun sa ocean. Para naman mabasbasan ka ng profits, di ba? Kasi pag takot ka palagi, kung risk averse ka masyado, baka tapos na yung bull market, di ka pa nakapag-trade, di ba? So, tignan natin. So, great advice from Boss Matt, Boss Ed. Sa akin naman, trading is ang ma-advise ko lang, no, to everyone, to our viewers, trading is a performance sport. So, treat it like a performance sport. Mag-aral ka, mag-ensayo ka, i-review mo yung mga trades mo from start to finish, from the trade planning process up to the execution part, even yung post-mortem na analysis, gagawin mo yun. Ano yung nangyari sa trade na yun, ano yung pwede mong improve and whatnot. Mainly, talagang bibigyan mo ng panahon, bibigyan mo ng dugot pawis mo yung trading business mo, no? So, yun lang. Kailangan nyo talaga mag-aaral. At the same time, ano ba? So, yun. Same advice, no? Trade what you see, not what you think. So, ako honestly, yung mga diniscuss namin, ako kasi very updated ako sa mga chismis sa market, eh. Updated ako sa mga chismis sa lahat ng corners. Parang ganon. So, ang dami kong nakikita. Pero, yun pa rin talaga yung kailangan mo ulit-ulitin bago matulog, eh. Ako, inuulit-ulit ko, trade what you see, trade the setups. Mga nice to know lang, yung mga information na tulad ng sinabi namin kanina, yung mga risk factors, titignan mo pa rin at the end of the day is price action, eh. Diba? So, yun lang everyone. So, to those na nandito pa, around 92 viewers pa, 96 viewers, maraming salamat sa panonood, maraming salamat sa oras ninyo for showing up in this market live session, in this Investa live session. Apologies kung medyo hindi ako magaling na host or whatever, pero I'm trying my best, and thankfully dito si Boss Matt and Boss Ed to guide us in this charting session and market update session. So, sa lahat ng nanonood, please type thank you Boss Matt, thank you Boss Ed, no. So ako personally, I want to thank Matt, thank you. Personally thank Ed, no, for this wonderful discussion, this live session. Parang very refreshing, parang masayang usapan, no. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you Matt. Thank you Ed.
Thank you.
Thank you, brothers.
Everyone. Thank you, Bear.
Thank you sa lahat ng nanonood. Yun, no, parang before we end lang din, yun, shout out, no, to Patrick Marquez, shout out to Oswald, shout out to Boss Jeff and others na nanonood dito, kay Ma'am Alexa, pati si Toma, shout out daw from Alaska, watching from Alaska. So medyo mawawala muna si Toma sa mga live session natin. Hindi natin alam, no, kung kailan siya babalik from Alaska. So ayun, thank you everyone. If interested kayo, please join the Trading Cup this March 18, 2024. So till March 18, 2024, pwede kayo mag-register in this Trading Cup. So 45 days left, no? May countdown tayo dyan. Madami tayong prizes, madami ding learnings na matututunan, and madami ding mga freebies like eto, yung 8-page cheat sheet na guide to Ace Investa Trading Cup 2024. So ako, nag-type ako ng onti dyan and other content contributor. So I hope na makatulong tong guide na to. So first 500 lang yan. So join na kayo mga nanonood na 90. So hindi sa inuutusan kayo pero mag-join kayo ha. Yun. So thank you Boss Matt ulit. Thank you Boss Ed. Thank you everyone. I will be ending this stream. Ingat kayo and good night.
Thank you.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night. Yun, and stream.